As you know, what the real big news of the week is the release of the Big Arch. Or, pardon, Big Arch.
You know you're not allowed to call it a hamburger, actually.
The new product from McDonald's, Big Arch.
I was so tempted to get one yesterday when I was driving home, or Monday when I was driving home from training. Like, I was like, I just want to try this motherfucker. I just want to have a Big Arch to say I've had a Big Arch. You know what I'm saying? Have you tried it?
I'm itching for it. I'm itching. It's going to happen. I watched some reviews, some video reviews on it, because I have not been impressed by McDonald's in a very long time. I got
it's expensive.
Just a straight up #1 not too long ago. And
disappointed.
I was on the phone with my mother today talking about this very same thing. And I said, Mom, do you remember when I was a little kid and I was so proud that I was able to eat a Big Mac because Big Macs were so big? I got a Big Mac not a month and a half ago, and the thing was the size of my fist, this small little burger. And I got a #1, and then I was with a nephew of mine, so it was a #1 and then another burger or another product and a Happy Meal product, and it was like $26.
Yep.
And years ago, it would have been maybe $10 or $12. I was just I didn't even get ketchup.
Why would you not get ketchup?
I wasn't even offered ketchup.
They don't do that.
Needed to ask for. So
what
I'm
age
looking
were you
forward
able
to this Arch product? What
age were you able to put away a Big Mac at? Like, what was the age you were like, I'm moving up from Happy Meal, I'm going to Big Mac? This was a big deal when we were kids. It was it was a step in like adulthood, I think.
I remember where I was.
See,
I was in my childhood kitchen. I had to have been. Was I watching wrestling? Was I 5 or 6? That area, five or 6. There was a Monopoly game component to it.
Of course.
I believe maybe around that time. I mean, pinpointing, there may have been a Olympic component to it at that time too, so it had to have been
95, 96.
No, I was packing them away at that point. I was a big little kid. Husky.
Yeah, same.
I
was saying I was
what
husky
they used
as well.
to call them.
Yes, I think I was 7. First put that Big Mac away, and never looked back. Never got a Happy Meal after that.
I was so proud, but even at that time, they were large.
I tried a snack wrap the other day from McDonald's, a snack wrap product, and that thing was not good. So I'm also disappointed with McDonald's as well.
I've been on.
We just need to leave it in the past. McDonald's in the past. You see the Burger King CEO, Burger Mog, the McDonald's CEO.
I did see that. I did see. Well, A&W. I think the A&W CEO mogged everybody.
That's true.
He was Burger Maxing big time on social today.
Well, at least they can say they're burgers. I haven't had an A&W burger in years.
There was an A&W where I used to live, but it's been replaced by
It was like an A&W
dispensary.
Oh, nice. There was an A&W Long John Silver's combination that we had back home.
That's the combo.
Yeah. When was the last time you had Long John Silver's?
I was in high school. Not bad.
40 years ago?
40 years ago when I was in high school.
50 years ago.
Remember the Miracle team in the Winter Olympics? That was the last time I had Long John Silver's.
Al Michaels on the call.
Yeah, we beat communism.
I remember that distinctly.
This was 40 years ago.
So I'm assuming this is going up on YouTube tomorrow morning, as it was.
Yes.
I need some help from people who are watching this. I need you to go and like the video. I need you to drop some 3s in the comments, please. Let's get some comments going on in this video so I know that you guys are watching. If you guys want to drop a super like, they help a ton with what we're doing. One of those 3 things, all of those 3 things, just drop a 3 in the chat. Let us know how we're doing. If you got any feedback, please let us know.
Smash that bell. Smash that like button.
Do it. Smash burger.
So, speaking of smashes,
Where do you
we
want to
got some
start this
guys
out?
that are about to smash each other in the face this coming Friday at the Houston Premier Arena for the Clutch City Classic Series Episode Uno. 7:30 start time, doors at 7?
7, yeah. 7
Doors
p.m.
at
The doors will be
7.
open.
And a conglomeration of Houston professional wrestling promotions coming together to celebrate a night of pro wrestling on a Friday night. Can't wait. Clutcher has returned, and
Yes.
if this were called the Texas Contender Series, we wouldn't get the match that I'm looking forward to the most. And we may as well get into it right now. Just Nick Timur the Great, Just Nick, as we all know, ineligible to compete in the Texas Contender Series.
Yeah, so, Nick lost at one of the last couple of contender series that we ever had at the Houston Premier Arena to Jak Calloway pursuing that Texas Contender Series championship. Um, yeah, we haven't seen Nick in a little bit here at New Texas or under the TCS banner, but um, Lord knows after the what he's able to put together the last year, I think he's earned his opportunity to challenge Timor for that Lone Star Championship. And man, it's a clash of styles, but in a good way, really, I think. And Nick has all the heart. He's got a little bit of high flying, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of amateur wrestling in his arsenal. Um, and Timor has just been a destroyer as of late. He's just destroyed everybody that's been in the ring with him. So this has the recipe to be something truly special on Friday night. One of those matches that you see at the HPA and you remember for the rest of your life. I'm super pumped about it. I'm glad that some orientation of New Texas Contender Series is back at the HPA. As I said when I was at local wrestling this past weekend, Texas wrestling is always better when everybody works together. So to have Wrestle Rave and PWF on this first Clutch City Classic series, episode 1, it's really cool. And but this Lone Star Championship match it's what New Texas is offering to this particular show, and I'm super pumped about it, man. It's two guys who really found themselves on the Texas Contender Series and have really grown and developed to be in their own ways staples of the Texas wrestling scene and potentially, could be top guys in the Texas wrestling scene in the very near future.
I know these two have been champing at the bit to get their hands on each other. Nick has asked me so many times, like, oh man, when can I wrestle Timur? When can I wrestle Timur? And Timur has been saying the same thing. Like, he wants to have a match with Nick. Both guys, for two totally different reasons, want to have the match. But like you were saying, I think it's a recipe for one of those classics that you see at the HPA where you're like, wow, that was awesome. I'm never going to forget that. So I'm looking forward to that one a lot.
Yeah, there's times like as a wrestler that you're like, I think if I get in the ring with that guy, we can really create something special. And I think both of these guys feel that way. And that's why I have a good feeling that this match could potentially steal the entire show or even the entire series. Like this could be the best match on any of the shows that we put on here at the HPA in the next few months. So uh, this match alone is worth the price of admission to get into the clutcher. So you can't miss out on this one. This one's going to be special. I'm telling you guys, it might have kind of flown under the radar with a lot of other announcements that we've been announcing these last couple of weeks. But this match here, if you don't know, now you know this one's going to be something special.
And for the fans that are going and for the fans that are going to be watching on IWTV, this is an IWTV exclusive. You're going to want to watch these. There may be some through line through all of these shows. So keep your eyes peeled. Be keen. This is not just matches for the sake of matches. This is going to be something that you're going to want to watch episode 1, 2, and 3 of, because this is going to be a lot of fun, and you're going to wind up getting matches like Nick and Timur coming up this Friday.
Well, you already said Timor and Nick is the one you're looking forward to the most, but let's look at this card. What else strikes your eye on this card that we have coming up?
Well, aside from the main event, which we'll get into, this Wrestle Ray 4-Way, we're going to be seeing Decimus in
Yes.
action against Alex Ray, Jay Pierce, and Jay Richards. Decimus has already punched his ticket into the Texas 8. So this is going to be an opportunity for the Houston fans to see one of the representatives in the TX8 tournament right in the HPA this Friday night.
And you know it's crazy. We saw Decimus at New Texas Pro Wrestling at the Texas Indie Showcase 2 back in 2022. Yes,
Which may still be going on.
it could potentially still be going on, but that's okay. But honestly, like when that big lucha match happened, I think it kicked off tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Decimus stuck out like a sore thumb because of what an incredible base that he is, and that he was able to throw these other luchadors around. So ever since then, he's been in once or twice since then as well, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely somebody, when we were talking about who could represent the Rio Grande Valley, who could represent Laredo wrestling, I actually suggested this to Biss that we should use Decimus in this tournament. That was a suggestion of mine. There was a couple of other names that we talked about, but I really think Decimus is an extremely talented and underappreciated wrestler here in the state of Texas. So I am pumped. This is the great thing about, obviously I love Contender Series, love New Texas Pro Wrestling, but the Clutcher, we get to see these talent that we don't ever really get to see a whole lot, and that's what makes these shows fun and different than what we usually put out there. Decimus, again, he's going to be representing the Rio Grande Valley / Laredo in the Texas A tournament coming up on 4/5 in Austin. But you also have Jay Richards, who we've not seen on Texas Contender Series or New Texas Pro Wrestling, who, from my understanding, is a great up-and-comer from the Houston area. And we have Alex Ray, who has not been on the Texas Contender Series or New Texas Pro Wrestling, who has also been making his name in the Houston area, as well as branching out to other parts of the state as well. So, and of course, Jay Pierce really came into his own on the Contender Series, has started to branch out to other places in Texas. It's a real big part of what Wrestle Rave is doing. So to have these four elements in one match, it's going to be, again, the same thing with Timur and Nick, but this feels like a recipe to be something really fun and special on Friday night that is a match that maybe you never ever see again, but you get to see it on Friday at the HPA. So I'm pumped about it. I mean, I don't even I don't even know what to expect from this match. It could be anything, and I'm just excited that it's on the card.
What's really cool about these collab shows that we do every once in a while, be it a Clutcher or a Texas Indie Showcase, is there's so much wrestling in Texas, folks. If you live here, you know it. If you're outside and you're looking in, this may as well be its own country, how big Texas is. And there's some guys that I only get to see once a year, twice a year. And to see a guy like Decimus come in and to even see the up-and-comers, it kind of illuminates just the amount of talent that we have here in Texas. And it kind of gives a very special, unique character to the show that we have coming up. So I'm looking forward to that.
There's so much talent in Texas. I think that legitimately people think that I hate them because we only have so many spots on these shows, and I can only put so many people on these shows. And I think in their minds, a lot of wrestlers think that I don't care for them. But honestly, there's just only so many spots on the shows. You know what I'm saying? So again, I like these opportunities where we work with these other promotions and they're able to bring in wrestlers that we don't normally see, because then I get to actually see these wrestlers on shows that we produce and we put together. So it's really cool. I wish that I could book 50 people on a show, because there's that many people in the state of Texas that deserve to be on a New Texas show or a Contender Series, And I again, this is just one of those opportunities that allows us to work with so many people that we normally wouldn't work with, or that we normally wouldn't have around. And I truly enjoy these times. I truly enjoy these shows.
There's it's a weird kind of pressure fluctuation that happens when you go into a show like this, where you may have certain expectations for a match going in, and you may want a certain outcome when they get out of the ring that you may have been building towards for a time. But when you have a match like this, where it could just be, all right, let's see, let's learn about some of these new characters, and maybe someone's going to be able to stick out and make a name for himself in a single night.
Yeah, and you have a lot of people that are around these shows that do book shows or that have connections with a lot of other places around the state of Texas. So no better place to show out than something like the Clutcher, where you can be seen by a lot of different people from a lot of different places around the state.
Uh, Speaking of, talk about sticking out. Someone has a hell of an opportunity on Friday. Someone has the opportunity to get a 1-year contract with the Texas Contender Series if and only if they could defeat Sirloin Ronan Reyes, the Beefcake.
What we were talking about this a couple of shows ago. Where's your percentage at now? I was kind of sitting at a 50-50 that maybe a fan could get in there and take Ronan. You were sitting at a 1%. Is that escalated it at all? Has that gone up to a 2 or 3%? What's the over under on this
I did not calculate the release of the Big Arch product. And Ronan has just been slamming the arches.
He's putting size on. It's bulking season.
Call him Mr. St. Louis, because he is the arch.
Yeah,
at
he's
this
the entire
point.
arch.
So it could slow him down in the ring. Who knows? But Ronan Reyes challenging a fan for a TCS contract this Friday night. So you never know what you're going to see at these Clutcher episodes.
I mean, what's the likelihood that Ronan goes in there and embarrasses a fan, on Friday night?
I could give
he's
you a
putting that size
100%
on.
chance that someone's going to be embarrassed on Friday night.
That's probably true. Maybe he's putting some size on because, again, the people that show up, we got to be able to be prepared for anything. So there are weight classes for a reason, right? So I don't know. I'm still 50-50 right now. It could be the fan could get this contract, and here again, an opportunity to work with new talent that we might have to start from scratch with. We don't know nothing about this person. So I'm super pumped about it. I think it's going to be potentially, it's either going to be Ronan finally getting his payback or a star making performance from some fan that, hopefully it takes off to the stratosphere for us.
Let's hope it's one of those things and not anything in between.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's.
I don't think it will be. I'm confident one way or the other.
I got faith in Sirloin.
Maybe Beefcake
it.
gets another shot at the TCS championship if he wins. I don't know. We'll see how he does. In the old days, this was a very common thing. I don't know if you know this or not, Dan, but back in the day, whenever wrestling was in the circus, they used to invite fans into the ring with the wrestler to see if they could take the wrestler down or to out-grapple the wrestler. This used to be a very, very common thing back in the day. Obviously, over time, there's insurance and things like that. We're not worried about that at the HPA. What we're worried about is entertainment. And I think this provides great entertainment for the fans and maybe even for some of the boys in the back.
As we know, HPA fans are famously not litigious.
Not at all. Or maybe so.
But I am very confident with how entertaining this could possibly be. And I have a lot of faith in Mr. Reyes in this. We also had new faces, new names. Bobby C taking on Buzzsaw Samuels.
So obviously, this is actually a match that Buzzsaw called for himself. That these are two guys that are actually very familiar with each other. Obviously, that we knew from training back in the day down in Texas City. He stepped away from wrestling for 5 or 6 years. It was maybe 6 or 7 years, or something like this at this point. And he has shown up at the Dustin Rhodes Academy. He's started to train there in Austin. And so when Buzzsaw caught wind that this person was back wrestling in the ring, he wanted this matchup. And I think, I think Buzzer really wants to showcase this newfound personality, this newfound aggression that he has. And maybe he knows Bobby C well enough that he feels like he can pick up this win and start to build some steam on the Clutcher, start to build some steam on Texas Contender Series and New Texas Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what Bobby C is able to do, and I'm looking to see how this change in persona of Buzzsaw Samuels has affected his in-ring work.
Well,
His
I don't really
is
like how Teflon John has gotten into Buzzsaw's head, or maybe this is just who he's been the entire time.
It's who he is the entire time. That's what
Um,
Teflon John has alluded to for months. That
I've
this is
known
who
Buzzsaw for
Buzzsaw is.
years. This is not. This has literally never been him. I don't understand what exactly is going on. Obviously, uh, I appreciate the competition inside of in the side of the squared circle. So I do appreciate him um, kicking some ass. I'm never opposed to that, but I think there's better ways to go about it. That's all. That's all I'll say about it.
Well, I don't. 6-man tag team action. The brand
What's
new
been
Texas.
better every time you come out to a new Texas or a Texas Contender Series? So these 6-man tag team matches kick so much ass
Yep.
every single time, and not only that, I don't know for sure. I was thinking about this earlier today, actually. I think that at some point they've had to have crossed paths, but I'm not sure if Dream Team, as far as Casey and Danny and Isaac, have ever gone head to head against each other. I could be wrong on this, but I can't think of a time. I know they teamed up against me actually and Just Vibin in San Angelo, Texas. So I know that they know each other pretty decently. They've been on the same teams together. They've worked together before, but I can't recall a time in the past that they actually squared off against each other any kind of way. And I just don't think it ever aligned. And this is going to be a very interesting match because they both really have such great momentum right now. Both teams, the Meat Market and Dream Team, both are coming into this match with a ton of momentum.
Trying to think. There's only one very short block of time where any of that could have happened, and it would have been after Dream Team beat the crap out of Dustin Nguyen, and before uh, Isaac found his meatiness, and that's a very
Very, yeah.
tight uh, area of time. I'd have to go back there, but be that as it may, we have the Dream Team, brand new Texas Pro Tag Team champions, along with Mr. Mundo, taking on the Meat Market and a mystery meat.
Yeah, I don't even know who this mystery meat is. From what I understand, Isaac and Hendricks are
Mystery
recruiting right now.
product.
Mystery product could be Big Arch. Uh, they, they are recruiting right now. From what I understand, they want to try to find a suitable part. I mean, Dream Team's nothing to play with. You got to bring somebody in there that's going to be able to do something. You know.
Sure.
So they're looking around. They're recruiting. They're trying to find some meatiness here in the state of Texas to join the meat market and take on the Dream Team. And we'll see how that goes, man. I'm super pumped about it. Again, both these teams, meat market groups, they have some steam right now. Again, I don't think they've ever squared off against one another as far as who they are now. So this is going to be fun, man. I think this is going to be another show stiller potentially. Again, the 6-mans have kicked so much ass for the last couple of years, and every single time we're like, what do we want to do here? How about a 6-man? And it's always cashed in every single time. So I'm pumped about it. I really have no idea who's going to win this match. It could go either way legitimately, and we'll see how it goes. You know, I just coming off this big win over Effie. I don't know if you saw the clip there on Instagram about uh, Isaac making out with Effie in the match, but and you know, having the quote unquote fakest kiss he's ever had in his entire life. So yeah, we'll see. You know, again, coming off this big win over Effie, it's time for this momentum to start picking up for Isaac, or you know, the Dream Team being the best team in the state of Texas. You know, with Mundo in their corner on their team, you know, they could steamroll into Snakebite. So
Well, Isaac and the Meat Market just came off a big win at Lone Star, earning Isaac Morales the number one contendership for the TCS championship. Isaac defeating Effie back at Audacity, I hope. I mean, Isaac's on a hell of a roll. Can't
he
deny
is.
it.
He is on a hell of a roll. If I'm not mistaken, I don't remember what happened at that last Super Tex Contender Series, but I feel like he does have something maybe in his pocket that we don't know what's going on with that. So
We'll see.
We will
We'll
definitely
see.
see.
Can't wait. And we get to see the Dream Team for the first time as the new Texas Pro Tag Team Champions making their appearance as well. So they're definitely hot off that big win against the Toxic Tour,
It's
who also has a
it's
match.
interest. It's interesting to see. I had my doubts when Dream Team uh, just showed this new light of who they are, what they're about, everything. For me personally, it felt like they were really just interested in getting this becoming three-time new Texas Pro Tag Team Champions. So the question now is, are they still going to continue to go down this road where they are, in fact, in line with these fans? Or are we going to see the Dream Team that we've always seen for the last, I don't know, 2 years or whatever it's been at this point in time, where they've been quite possibly the most hated tag team that we have, or even act that we have at New Texas Pro Wrestling. So I'm interested to see it. The crowd has come around to them, so I guess they're maybe finding some synergy with the fans here in Houston and in Austin. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the fans are receptive towards them now that they're champions, and we'll see what happens on Friday night.
As far as that is concerned, the way I see it, the Dream Team right now is one of the best tag teams there is in Texas, maybe the whole country. And whether you like them or you hate them or you love to hate them, you're going to appreciate their talent. So if you're not a fan of the Dream Team, Kiefer, have you ever had a dog that kind of sucked? Maybe it peed in the house, or it smelled really bad, or couldn't keep its food down, but you couldn't help but love it.
Of course. Well, I think we've all been there at some point, right?
That could very well be the Dream Team.
I think they're the good dog. I'm saying that everyone loves.
Good
That's what
dog.
I think.
Big dog. And the former tag team champions, the Toxic Tour, in action, going up against some newcomers, Cat 5.
5. We are pumped about Cat 5. I'll tell you that right now.
Certainly are.
We saw Django a little bit, I believe, in a Turbo Rumble, if I'm not mistaken, at some point in time last year on the Tex Contender Series. So young Django, he's coming back. He's healed up from his knee injury. He is teaming with Calico, who really, I mean, we're talking about someone who was building some steam there towards the end of the Tex Contender Series era at the Houston Premier Arena. I mean, Calico was really starting to fire on all cylinders. Uh, those last few shows that we had, I mean, there was a couple of times where he did some really incredible things in the ring, and the crowd really came alive. So I'm excited to see what this duo can do. They seem like they're gelling in training. They seem like they're on the same page. It seems like two separate entities or people or types of people, but sometimes odd couples make the best tag teams. So I'm excited about Cat 5. I think the crowd at the HPA and everywhere else, I think, will like Cat 5. They're two of the hungriest guys that we have in our entire camp. I've been around quite a bit as of late, and these two are there every day trying to get better, trying to learn. And they've been waiting for this opportunity. I mean, I told them about this date 2 or 3 months ago, and they've been waiting, and they've been doing everything they can to prepare for this. And imagine in their first ever tag team match, you go in there and you beat the former New Texas Pro Tag Team Champions. I mean, they literally were just tag team champions. You go in and you beat a team like that. That really sets you up for great success early on. I mean, it's very reminiscent of that early Dream Team where they got some, and even Eighth Day. I mean, Eighth Day won their tag titles in their first match at New Texas Pro. So there's a history of tag teams gelling very quickly at New Texas Pro Wrestling and finding success early in their careers. And maybe Cat 5 is going to be that next iteration of tag teams at New Texas Pro Wrestling that will find success early on. I mean, this would be a great way to start out.
Concerning what you were talking about with Calico in particular, it's really easy to see a wrestler make a debut and they make a splash early and they get a couple wins under their belt and like, oh wow, this could be another guy. Let's see where this goes. And a couple months down the road, they really haven't advanced too much. But someone like Calico, he has been able to keep the momentum going and do better every single outing that he has had. And wherever there was a flaw in his game, he has attacked that flaw and tried to get rid of it. So I've been very impressed with what Calico is able to do in a very short amount of time. And he has been able to keep the same exuberance, and he's been able to keep the same excitement for going out there and performing.
It's tough as a wrestler when you start to hit these obstacles in your career. You start to hit, these hurdles that you have to figure out a way to get through, these obstacles you got a way to get around or find a way through. And honestly, the tour is a lot of wrestlers. That's kind of like once they start hitting these obstacles, 2 or 3 years into their career or whatever it is, 1 2 years in their career, it either makes them or it breaks them. That's the honest truth. And I think that Calico was able to dig deep and get a lot of his stuff right, and has truly shown that he has improved his game in every facet, just like you were saying, and is looking to continue to work to improve his game in every facet. And again, that's the kind of that kind of resolve in somebody is something that I truly look for, because this business can be so unforgiving to everybody. So to have that kind of resolve, to have that determination to grow and to continue to show up and try to get better, even when things don't always go your way, I think is a really good indicator of what someone can be as a talent.
I mean, you want to talk about hurdles? Look at Django. He had a couple of dark matches. He was in a Turbo Rumble, and then he was out with injury for a little bit. And he's coming back excited about this tag team. Like, hats off to him for. I know a lot of people with lesser constitution who would just be like, you know what, screw this. But he kept at it. He hadn't missed a show. He didn't miss a single show after injury.
With the bad knee injury.
Yeah.
And that is a testament to the character of a human being, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. And if you really have, like, this is what I want to do, this is the business that I want to be in, then there's legitimately nothing that will actually completely detour you from pursuing what you want to do. And when you get into this business, you have to understand that a long there are going to be uncomfortable amounts of time that you have to deal with and you have to endure. And you just have to accept the fact that it's a process, and that these uncomfortable times in your life is something that you have to endure. And it is okay, because we all go through that. Everybody goes through these moments. And again, it's not for everybody. Um, there's a lot of people and very valid excuses of why they're not in the business anymore. Um, that they did not want to endure these uncomfortable times in their life, which is completely valid, because we only have so much time on this earth to begin with. But if you truly want to make it in this business, I mean, look at all the guys that got signed to WWE and AEW during that, big boom period in 2019, 2020. Those guys were on the independents for 15, 20, 25 years. Yeah, there was times, I can guarantee you, there was times where those guys thought they had no chance to get signed. And they were literally just doing it because they love to do it and they want to be the best pro wrestler that they would be. And I saw a tweet today, and I truly agree with it, but too many wrestlers put their success based on if they're able to get a contract or not. And yes, it is important to try to pursue a contract. But in my opinion, what I wanted to do when I got in this business was I wanted to be the best pro wrestler that I could be. And if I was able to get a contract out of that, great. But if I could be the best pro wrestler that I could be, then I fulfilled my what I could do. You know what I'm saying? And I think too many people are worried about the contract and not worried about the craft. And so I think that more people really need to focus on, I'm just trying to be the best pro wrestler that I can be. I'll be ready when these opportunities come, if these opportunities do come. But at the core, I'm just trying to concentrate on my craft to try to be the best wrestler that I can be, to try to continue to improve on the facets of my game that I'm not good at, and continue to strengthen the things that I am already good at, and just continue to work on it. It takes 10,000 hours to become a master at something, or whatever that saying is. Same thing with wrestling. You just keep learning, you keep growing. And again, to have that resolve so early on, that I've seen it before. that someone started to almost get very close to wrestling, or they wrestled some little matches or dark matches or whatever you want to call them, and they get injured, and then they don't come back, which is fine because again, injuries are very tough to work through. Not a lot of people are able to come back the same. And again, we only have so much time in this life anyway. So why, if you're not really truly into this, why waste it on? But again, I'd see these two guys as some people that have worked truly worked hard to try to get these opportunities to wrestle on a show like the Clutcher. And again, we probably spend more time on this than anything, but that's
Mm-hmm.
perfectly okay because I'm super excited about it, and I want you people to be just as excited as I am about this team.
It's about the journey, not the destination. Is that what you're trying to say, Bartek?
Something like that. I don't know. That seems too cliche, I guess.
Well,
Work on your craft.
work on
Learn
your
how to
craft.
work.
Well, be that as it may, there's only one more thing, I think, for us to talk about, and that's that main event. We got Lethal Chris Marcel defending the Texas Contender Series Championship against Jak Calloway. No disqualification. Do you want me to whip it out?
Whip it out. Come on.
Whip it out.
We
and it's going to
all wanna
be
see,
for.
we want to see it.
It's going to be for the brand new
Look at that thing. It's so big.
Texas Contender Series Championship.
God.
This thing is huge, folks.
That thing is massive.
This is gigantic, and I have a huge head as it is.
Yeah,
But
look at that thing.
This thing is so big. Fresh leather, real honest to God snaps
Look at
on
that.
it too. No phony baloney stuff here. But look
We remember what
look
happened
at
last
this.
time you had a title.
I only paid for this. I didn't earn it. But look at this, the brand new Texas Contender Series Championship.
Yeah, I mean I'm glad the new title came in just in time for this big main event. This thing is absolutely stunning.
It's so
I
big.
actually
It's
love
heavy
the
too. It has some heft.
I love the OG belt. I think it had a lot of character to it. It definitely had a unique look to it. But the
Custom
silver,
plates.
the silver in this is really cool. I don't know if you can see it really on the stream or whatever, but man, actually just thinking about this, just in retrospect, to see an idea of like, or to have an idea like the Contender Series in my head 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was, and then to see, maybe one of the most beautiful championship belts in all of Texas to be based off this idea that I
Dude,
had.
that's crazy.
It's pretty cool. It's honestly, it's super cool. But this match has been really in the making for, what was it, September? 6 months, 6, 7 months. And I know that uh Jak Calloway came in and he stole that championship from Jay Davis and Lethal Chris Marcel at that Super Tex Contender Series. Um, and then he did his best to avoid Lethal as long as he could. But once Lethal was able to get that championship match, he was able to cash in at Lone Star in that highly, a lot of people were talking about it because of the band, because the environment. Jak really truly loved that belt. I actually saw somebody else say this, another promoter say that Jak was made by the Tex Contender Series. And I think that 2025 is going to be synonymous with Jak Calloway being the Tex Contender Series champion. Belt means a lot to him. And I think no matter where Jak goes in the future, I think he wants to take that Contender Series championship wherever he goes. He's in that triple threat match at Snakebite as well. And I think he would absolutely love to be the first ever double champion in New Texas Pro history. So I cannot see I can't see Jak not coming into this match without a game plan. He has been able to be one step ahead of every single person on the roster for the last year or so. The question I think really comes down to, will it be enough to stop the power of Lethal, the Lethal Empire, the fans that are going to be behind Lethal? Is Jak's plan, is the game plan that he's going to come into this match with, Is it going to be enough to stop Lethal Chris Marcel?
Chris Marcel has seconds and thirds. This is a no disqualification match in the HPA, and we've seen no DQ matches in the HPA, and they have been hog wild. And to main event this first episode of the Clutcher series to be this big rematch from Lone Star for the brand new TCS championship belt. Both these guys are going to have to pull out all the stops. And if I had to pick who's going to win, this is going to focus. There we go.
There it is. Jak.
It's ready to go. It's ready to go, folks.
He's the more experienced wrestler. Again, I just cannot see him not coming into this match without a real game plan to catch Lethal Chris Marcel slacking or whatever it needs to be for him to win that championship. It's coin toss for me. I don't really know who's going to win this. I think it could go either way. And the no disqualifications, I think, just kind of we saw the match that we had at Lone Star. This kind of throws all the rules out to even the playing field the best that we can, and whoever's able to utilize the no DQ stipulation on the match, I think, is going to end up being able to win this match.
The hallmark of Jak Calloway of 2025 was knowing when to pick your spot. And that goes from the beginning of the year all the way up until he won the Texas Contender Series championship. And even through that, even as Texas Contender Series champion, he was able to banish Just Nick from the Texas Contender Series. He got work done as champion still. So with this no disqualification stipulation attached to this, he's going to know when to take a shot. And if there's anybody that knows when to take their shot, it's going to be Jak Calloway.
I haven't really had a conversation with him, but I would have to say that the band being there, Lone Star, really truly felt like some sort of mind games. And again, maybe not. I don't think Lethal was intending it to be some kind of mind games, but I think when you're sitting there in the back and you're kind of watching your opponent come out and you're seeing all the pop and circumstances, and you already have your pre-match nerves and everything like that, it can be where, like, man, what am I really stepping into? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he could have been sitting back there watching this, watching Lethal come out to all this fanfare, to the band, everything like that, and being like, man, like, this is a very big moment. This is a lot going on. What am I really stepping into at this point in time? So I think that maybe there was a little bit of shell shock that Jak had going into that match, but I can't imagine him. You've seen how confident he's online. I can't even imagine him falling into that same situation again, if that makes sense. I think that he's going to bring everything that he has this match, and I think that's what's going to make this match special. It's going to take a lot to put Jak away, and it's going to take a lot to put Lethal away. So again, super pumped about this match. I'm excited that the Clutch City Classic Series Episode 1 has a true main event that we are excited for. And again, no disqualification, so anything can go. And somewhere like the HPA, it's really a perfect stipulation to have.
That's very dangerous. No disqualification in the HPA. So, man, that's Friday night, the HPA, live on IWTV exclusive. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Very excited about it. Hope you guys are all there. I'm inviting you out. I'm personally inviting you out right now. If you're listening to my voice, I'm inviting you out on Friday, and I want you to be there.
And this is the first of 3 clutchers that we have coming up. The next being on April the 3rd. And following that would be May the 1st. May Day. So mark your calendars. What else we got going on?
Well, we could circle back to that triple threat, I think. I don't think we were able to touch on that last time. And if Timur is able to defend his championship against Just Nick at the Clutcher, if Nick is able to defeat Timur, he is into this triple threat match. So we'll do our best to talk about this either way.
A lot up in the air for this 3-way as of right now.
It's always funny when people are like, why would you put a graphic out before something else has happened. But there has been times, multiple times, that we've had it in our at New Texas Pro where we put a graphic out throwing you guys one way, and then things went the other way. So every time we put a graphic out, don't think that lays everything in stone, because that is not how I operate. I like to throw curveballs. I like for you guys to think something's happening and other things are happening. So again, um,
Card subject to
anything
change.
card is subject to change. It's interesting. I think the big story of this match is Rudy Garza coming back. He's been away for a couple years. Um, he's had some injuries since he's been away. Um, he's had some really great matches since he's been away. Um, but he was a very smart Lone Star champion. He knew he had possibly the smartest man in Texas wrestling and the biggest and strongest man in Texas wrestling in his corner. So that helped him win a lot of matches as Lone Star champion, win a lot of matches at New Texas Pro Wrestling. I think he might have only lost one match at New Texas Pro, uh, maybe two, but I think he was only pinned one time at
And
New
that was a
Texas.
bunch of horse manure.
So my question is, without a Dan Miller in his corner, without a Bo Amir in his corner, what Rudy Garza are we going to get? Because we know that he is a championship caliber wrestler. We know that he can be successful at New Texas Pro Wrestling. But what do you think that we're going to get with Rudy Garza in this triple threat match?
I think I haven't really talked to him much, quite frankly. But I think you're gonna get something out of Rudy that you've never seen before. You're gonna get a whole new presentation, like brand new coat of paint, brand new everything. His motivations are a lot different. I know when we came into New Texas Pro all those years ago, it was 4 years ago at this point. Uh, I personally had different motivations. I know he did, but time kind of changes a lot of things. So he's coming in with a different mindset, and he is going to want to get the championship back that he never lost. It's going to be really interesting what Rudy brings to the table on the 15th.
I agree. I think that's one of the most compelling parts of the Snakebite show, is that we're getting Rudy Garza back for the first time in over 2 years, I believe it is. Um, the issue is there's a very smart and conniving challenger in Jak Calloway and an absolute steamroll destroyer in Timur the Great, who are both in this match as well. So I think it's three of the most promising talent that we have in Texas wrestling today. I think they all bring different elements to this match that really makes it interesting. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's an opportunity for all three of them to showcase who they are. Um, and again, the elements coming into this match are interesting, and I'm really excited to see what happens and where it goes.
The story behind this match is great because you have the guy that had that spot, the guy that has that spot, and the guy that's been working hard for over a year to capture that spot and to steal it away from someone else. So
Right.
three really combustible elements. That could be a really good. That could be a show stealer right there.
Agree. I think that's going to be a fun Lone Star Championship match. I'm super pumped about it. I'm really excited. The Snakebite card is really coming together to be something awesome. Maybe one of the best Baytown shows we've had since we started running in Baytown. It might be the best top to bottom that we've ever had. We haven't even announced, half the matches yet. So I need to get on this the social media stuff.
The show is
But
in
I know. But
week and
hey,
a
look,
half.
you'll get to see the matches when we get them signed on the dotted line. So uh,
A
there's still
hard push at the end.
there's still a few things we got to iron out and a few things we got to make happen. But I know that you guys are going to be excited about it. We also announced your boy, the Wind Dragon, Dustin Nguyen.
Hold on. I have so many of these things. I mean, I don't, but hold on. What the hell is it? Oh, here it is.
There it is.
Come on.
Wind Dragon.
It says Dustin win. There we go.
Okay. Dustin, this is the first time that Dustin has wrestled at New Texas since the TNA segment. I might
Is
be wrong.
this is his first singles match in quite a while on a New Texas show as well.
New Texas show, at least here in the Houston area.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, man,
And
this is
yes, it's the TNA stuff.
yeah, definitely since the TNA stuff. His first singles match he's had on a New Texas show in quite some time, especially in the Houston area, I should say. And man, this is an opportunity for Dustin to showcase, how much he's grown and where he's at in professional wrestling. I'm super pumped about it. I couldn't be more happy about all the stuff happening with TNA. I know he's out in Atlanta right now as part of the TNA taping. So
He's in a Marriott.
he's in a Marriott in
Very
Atlanta
excited.
somewhere,
Very excited.
and way fancier than I'm sure Dustin's used to. But you know what? Good for him. I'm kidding. I love Dustin. It's fancier than I'm used to. So who's talking now?
Fair.
But yeah, no, it's good. And Ninja Mack, who's his opponent, it's an interesting dynamic that we have here. Dustin has his kung fu
East
background.
meets East.
East meets East. Again, Ninja Mack had an incredible run in Japan. He's been overseas multiple times over the last couple of years. With New Japan, with Noah, I mean, he's won championship belts over there. I actually started training in professional wrestling with Ninja Mack many, many years ago. So I've known Ninja Mack for a very, very long time. And this is going to be this absolutely interesting matchup because of the styles that are going into this match. And I think that this is going to be completely different than anything else on the card in a good way. And I'm super pumped about it because I know that they both have wanted to wrestle each other. They're both kind of like Houston wrestling. What's the word I'm looking for? Icons, or I don't know. I don't know the word I'm looking for. They're very unique talents that have come from Houston that the crowd truly loves. If that makes sense. Uh, well, the crowd, the fans, they like Ninja Mac. The fans, they like the Wind Dragon Dustin Win. I mean, I don't think that's for debate. Um, And yeah, that's what I think this match is cool because again, you get two of the brightest, best and brightest that we have here in Houston colliding for the very first time, and it's I really don't know which way this match is going to go. I'm going to sit back and watch and see what they can do.
There are three guys that I really like talking shop with, talking wrestling, deep down nitty gritty with. That's you, that's Rudy Garza, and that's Ninja Mack. Because all of their perceptions, all of their takes come from very unique areas. Like you're always going to get a hot take from those three guys, and it's never going to be the same, and it's always going to be very unique and interesting. And I'm looking forward to see how Ninja Mack approaches this match, how he approaches the young Wind Dragon Dustin Nguyen.
He's definitely taken a liking to Dustin. Just personally, I know that they've become good friends over this last few months. So again, I know they both wanted this matchup. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the crowd's really going to enjoy it. Could potentially, something from this match could potentially go viral anytime either of those guys are in the ring anywhere in the country. So there's always that possibility that they could go viral. This is going to be one I hope that the fans come out and really look forward to because I think it's going to be, again, it's something that we don't always usually have on our shows, if that makes sense. This is kind of fun and a little bit different than what we usually do. So I hope the crowd loves it. I think they're going to come with a really fun match. And yeah, again, everything on this show is really lining up to be a little bit something different for every kind of palette that you like in wrestling. But ultimately, we're trying to find the best here in the state of Texas to go up against each other.
You always get a smorgasbord at a New Texas show.
Pro wrestling is so many things. I've wholeheartedly believed this from many years that I've promoted wrestling, and I think that the best shows that we put on are the ones that have a little bit of everything. That way, you get the best from the best. It's not people in the wrong position to do things they're not maybe capable of. And again, I think it just puts the best entertainment and the best pro wrestling inside the ring, and that's really what we excel at. I think we, as a company, have the best pro wrestling inside of a wrestling rink in the state of Texas. And it's hard to argue that based on what we put together over the last 7.5 years.
Um, not to too torn too much, but you could feel the TLC, the tender loving care, not weapons, but you could feel the TLC coming out of your screen while watching the show, as is so lovingly crafted for the people watching in the arena or at home.
Yeah, I really every show, I try to put the best card that I could put together every single time that we have these big signature shows. Um, there's been a lot of times I've been very emotional backstage seeing guys do great. That's probably something a lot of people don't know. I'm sitting there at the monitor, I was getting a little emotional and stuff because I'm so proud of the guys. And this goes all the way back to like Roxanne and Rachel and all that stuff back in the day where I saw these people very early on, and I see how great they do, and all this stuff is very carefully curated and put together meticulously and thought over in length. And hopefully, over the years, it's shown that we've put on a great product, and it's come from a place of love and place that I truly care about the wrestling business and everyone that's helped with the shows. I think that it all comes from that same place as well.
Love is abound, and it's going to be abound in Baytown on Sunday, March 15th. We got
What's your take on this $500 giveaway for these fans? This is a pretty cool deal. I don't know if I've ever been to a wrestling show where you got a chance to win $500 just for being there. Same way you buy a ticket to every other wrestling show you ever go to, but at the end of the show, one of our good sponsors is going to get in the ring and pull out a ticket, and you could win $500 cash.
yeah, guys, this is not like BS or
No,
anything.
this
Like
isn't.
it's very much a you could win $500 thing, and I'm not even going to say like, oh, can I win it? Because I can't. Obviously, I'm going to be working the show, but you could win $500 for just showing up. So take a look at one of our more latest social media posts on how you could win $500 for showing up at the show.
And
What's the story about Kiefer?
if
Run
you're
it down.
wondering
Why?
why, I know that there are a lot of people struggling right now, legitimately. Like the economy is not great right now. Things are just tough for a lot of people. So we get sponsors usually on our shows, and usually they go to certain aspects of the shows, like advertising and things like that. Um, but I think it would just be cool if we can just give money to people that come to the show and give them, that $500 actually probably go a long ways to pay a lot of bills, get groceries, things like that, or whatever, however they want to use it. I mean, it could, whoever wins it can use it how they want to. But I think that, I think I pitched this to you maybe 3, 4, 5 months back, whatever it was. I think it just benefits the fans that we have, and gives them an opportunity to win something special. There's no work, there's no gimmick on this. It's a shoot, real drawing. I hope it goes to one of our fans that come to all of our shows, because I
Mm-hmm.
really want to try to give back to them, and let people know that, like, you can win cash money at our shows, and that it could potentially help you with your bills, and at an entry point of whatever, 10, $15, whatever it is, to come to our show. I think that's a great opportunity to win, $500 just for showing up. And again, you get to enjoy the best pro wrestling in the state of Texas. So I think it's just like I said, as the environment of our world continues to change, as a promoter, not so much the booker, but as a promoter of shows, I have to think of new ways that will help people, bring people to the show. But honestly, honest to God, try to help people out. And if this goes to somebody and it helps them pay some bills, helps them get some groceries, helps them take care of their kids, whatever the case may be. That is 100% what I want this to be. And I truly and genuinely hope that someone really benefits greatly from this and that we can continue to do this until, maybe until forever, but at least until things get better in the economy.
Cold, hard cash.
It's cash. Do whatever you want to with it. It's tax
Sean
free.
Hendricks says he's buying a ticket.
If you buy a ticket, you get entry in. I'm not saying you're going to win, but you got to be there too. You can't. You got to be there when we call the tickets out at the end of the show.
Enough.
So don't do the thing where you think you're just going to buy a ticket and hope that you get into some drawing. You got to be there. You got to be there. We're going to give out tickets. If you get a VIP front row, you get 6 of these tickets. If you get a front row, you get 5 of these tickets. If you get a second row, you get 2 of these tickets. And if you get a general admission, you get 1 ticket. So choose your tickets wisely.
And tickets will be drawn at the beginning of the show.
Yes, we'll give them out as people come in. Whatever ticket they've bought, we'll give those tickets to the people coming in. And then we'll have our sponsor draw the winning ticket after the show concludes.
And then you can stay around and buy merchandise.
Then you can stick around and meet the wrestlers.
Yeah.
You can meet the meat market.
The meet and greet, MEAT.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
It's damn straight. I think one last order of business before we head on out here. BK coming back to Vegas.
Yes, the Underground King. It's funny because I feel like because of how dominant he was as a champion, we get to be the promotion to call him the Underground King. He's the bounty hunter. He was the bad apple. But he is the Underground King in New Texas Pro Wrestling because he came up through the undergrounds. He made a name for himself at the Houston Premier Arena and became this legend, this independent darling at New Texas Pro Wrestling. And that is why he is the Underground King at New Texas Pro Wrestling. And again, it just feels right. I'm saying? Bryan Keith, the New Texas Pro Wrestling, it just feels right that he finally comes back to the place where he made a name for himself. And we have something big planned for him in Vegas. Can't fully disclose what it's going to be quite yet, but obviously we're bringing Bryan Keith back to New Texas Pro. We're not going to put him with old, Dick and Sally. We're going to put him in the ring with our best. So if you're going to Vegas, which I still need to buy a plane ticket to Vegas, so I don't know if that window's closed on that thing. Don't tell me it has yet, Dan. Tell me I got another week or so.
Actually, honestly, I was checking yesterday just to see if I got screwed on my ticket, and you're still in the buy zone. You are still in the buy zone.
Still in the buy zone. So if you ain't buy, hopefully, I think.
But I would do it like tonight.
I think that. Oh, well, that's great. I think that you'll see Bryan Keith. Hopefully, nothing has been confirmed, but I think you'll see more of him here at New Texas and Texas as well. We would love to have Bryan Keith at every show that we have at New Texas. Obviously, it doesn't always work out that way, but I think we're going to try to make more of an effort for him to be around a little bit more. Get to mix it up with some of the guys that are coming up, as well as bringing some names and things like that. So I always love BK being around. He is such a great locker room guy. It's funny when we were talking earlier about guys that learn their craft or guys who just are in the business to learn his craft. When Bryan Keith was coming up, I used to preach this all the time because Bryan worked so diligently on his craft I think before he even started New Texas, he'd already been in the business for 11 years or something like that, 12 years or something. He had been in the business for a very long time. And I know for a fact, because he was in the business before I was, that he was working on his craft every single week as hard as he could for years and years and years without any promise that there was even an inkling of opportunity to be signed at the next level. So Bryan is a prime example of somebody that worked on his craft, was given the opportunities, shining those opportunities, and then has been able to sign a contract. When I know for a fact he's told me before he came over to New Texas, he was thinking about quitting wrestling. That's where he was at. But I know that he had worked very hard on his craft and that he became such a great pro wrestler. And then he was given the opportunity to show people the type of wrestler that he is. And then it finally broke through for him in this 12th or 13th year in the business. So again, don't get caught up in this whole thing about I need a contract for my, fourth year in the business, fifth year. I see this person's getting signed. Don't stop learning. Don't stop growing. Don't stop working on your craft. Don't stop watching tape. Don't stop going to the gym. Go to the gym, diet, all the work on your social media. If your social media ain't getting no buzz, you gotta figure out new ways. Try another way. Try another way until you start breaking through, until you start getting some traction. If you just accept things the way that they are, then the things are gonna be what they are. So BK took Twitter very seriously, and that's kind of another thing that helped propel him to where he was or where he got to with being signed with AEW. A lot of people they don't like to do Twitter, and I'm like, look, I understand, but it's part of the game. If you don't want to do Twitter, you don't want to do social media. This time in pro wrestling might not be for you because the people that get signed have some sort of social media presence, and the people who get opportunities have social media and they use it well usually. So um, yeah, I went on this big tirade, but obviously just loving BK being back. And again, he's the underground king here for a reason. When he steps in through the ropes at New Texas Pro Wrestling, he is a different animal. And whoever steps in the ring with him in Vegas better be ready because I don't think Bryan has, in a normal matchup, I don't think Bryan Keith has lost ever at New
Yeah.
Texas Pro Wrestling. Ever. So,
Last year had a ham dinger with Luke Jacobs. Over the summer had another ham dinger with Izzy James.
yes.
So Bryan Keith always brings it when he's in a New Texas ring. Good to see him back, and to go back to the knowing your craft. Yeah, I've had a lot of wrestling conversations with people in my day, and one of the first times that I really got to sit down and like chat with Bryan Keith, he just gave me this 2-hour we were at a bar and he just started giving me a dissertation on Kings Road.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's,
whoa, this guy, this dude is the real, not just in the ring, but mentally and, living it. BK's the man.
yes. Yeah, he actually really found his style doing the Kings Road stuff at New Texas, and that's kind of what propelled him to where he is. So, um, yeah, man, really, really excited to have him back. I know he's going to be. It's always great to have BK back.
Totally agree. Can't wait. The six. Hold on, I'm gonna screw this up. If it's not within like 2 weeks, I am not good with dates. We are on the 16th of April. Bazaar Bar, 1301 South Main Street, Las Vegas, formerly known as Swan Dive. The Bazaar Bar, 11 a.m. Las
11 a.m.
Vegas
local
time.
which is
Oh,
what, 1 p.m.
baby.
here?
Oh, baby. One of the first shows of the weekend for any event happening in Las Vegas that weekend. So looking forward to it. Bryan Keith officially on the card, along with, boy, we already have a heck of a roster
Yeah,
announced.
this is going to be one hell of a show. Last year was a very, very, very strong show. This one's going to be just as strong, if not maybe stronger. So stay tuned. Got a lot more names to announce and a lot more matches to announce. Well, all the matches really to announce.
Well, New Texas Pro going full steam ahead into 2026. Now that Q1 is starting to wrap up and we're going to be heading into Q2, we just have event after event after event. This Friday, we're going to be at the HPA. Snakebite is next Sunday at Baytown, and then a litany of shows happening. And TX8, 4-5 up in Austin, that brand new facility that we got going on.
And we'll probably talk about Texas A next week, maybe. Obviously, we've got Snakebite coming up. I mean, we got so many shows coming up. We've got so much to talk about. So
There's
stay
so
with
much
us.
going on.
Uh, now that these shows are going to be back to back to back to back, these podcasts are going to be must listen. So you can get ready for these shows. You can get primed for all these shows. These are just going to be New Texas exclusive podcasts. And so, again, leave a comment if you watch this all the way through. Let us know what you think. Put some threes in the chat. Maybe give us a super chat. Just, help us out. Help the algorithm out.
I'm looking at the calendar. I think there is only... Okay, this week... There are not... I think the longest stretch of time that we don't have a show is like 9 days up until like May. So there's a lot going on in New Texas land.
Yeah, that's why it's important. You got to be here every week with us, listening to what's going on. We're just going to start shooting on people so you guys will listen more. I don't even know who's going to be here still, or who's still in this, listen to this video. But look, I appreciate you guys for real. It's pretty cool.
All right, guys. For Kiefer Bartek, I'm Dan Miller, New Texas Pro Podcast. We'll see you next time.